I think that Twitter is a way that I get out the word when we have a corrupt media, and it is corrupt and it's fake. So Twitter is a way that I can get out the word because our media is so dishonest, a lot of it, the mainstream, a lot of it. They don't report the facts. They don't report, as an example that I just showed you, they don't want to report this, so I figure I might as well show it. So when I do the Twitter statements, I get out the word from a fake and corrupt media.
On this episode of Just Informed Talk, the latest new Q posts expose an evil, that of which I have never, ever seen before. You guys are going to want to stick around to see what that is as we find out more about Epstein Island and what could be below the surface. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Just Informed Talk. My name is Craig, and I always start by saying thank you to everyone who's hit that subscribe button. If you haven't, please come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications, and there's a little thumbs up at the bottom of this video. It's called the like button. You guys want to go down and hit that if you guys want to see more content like this. So before we get into the latest posts, I have to just put a little disclaimer on here. We may not be able to see every post and every picture because there's been some disturbing stuff that Q has shared with us. Now, what kind of stuff is that? Well, it has to do with Rachel Chandler, her connections to political and Hollywood figures, and some sort of connection to Jeffrey Epstein and his island in the Caribbean, Little St. James, where there's been alleged to have been all types of very nefarious activities going on, all the way up into some really evil stuff. So, you know, that to me is what I want to preface this as, or just tell you guys, because you might not see everything, and I'll you guys can go over the Q board if you want to see all it and keep doing the research. But yeah, this is just disturbing, and I want to start before we do anything with a prayer. Just a little scripture to kind of preface all this, and it's Psalm 14. It's a portrait of sinners, and I want to share this whole thing with you. It says, "The fool in his heart says, quote, God does not exist, unquote. They are corrupt. Their actions are revolting. There is no one who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven on the human race to see if there's one who is wise, one who seeks God. All have turned away. All alike have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Will evildoers never understand? They consume my people as they consume bread. They do not call on the Lord. Then they will be filled with terror, for God is with those who are righteous. You sinners frustrate the plans of the afflicted, but the Lord is his refuge." And with that, we'll jump right into it. Okay, so here's where we're picking up. We're picking up at Q Post 3133. Where we left off was Q Post 3132. And if you guys want to get caught up, I always tell everyone to come back here to the landing page, watch these last few videos, share them on your social media, get that word out there. And if you don't know what QAnon is, you're going to want to come here and watch this video. What is QAnon and the Great Awakening? So first of all, let's start here with the first post. Q points to this Anon who posts this picture, which we've talked about in the last episode, which is Bill Clinton in, I would say, somewhere in the Caribbean. And we're going to look at this right now. It says, the Anon says, started digging on the pic Q post is trying to figure out who took the pic. Doing a search of it on TinEye, the first article that pops up is The True Pundit last March. One thing that popped out, going to dig further in a bit, was the location of the pic was taken. It says, quote, Clinton is seen here kicking back at a beach day in January of 2017 in Palmilla, Bayahib, an exclusive haven of warm waters and refuge near the so-called Paso de Catuano, very close to Isla Saona. This resort is only accessible by private boat, unquote. There's no idea who took the pic yet, still digging, but thought I'd share the location in case it helps one of you. Anybody know anything about this resort? Is it a last resort? Yeah, it gives the TruePundit.com article, which I think we briefly looked at in the other one, where it just says that he was basically Mueller's top witness. This guy, what was his name? George Nader, was in this picture with Bill Clinton, and of course George Nader was one of the many who was picked up as a sting against. I think it was part of the Jeffrey Epstein case, but regardless, he's a convicted child sex offender, and that's one thing to note. Then Q gives us this website, which is rachelchandler.us, and it's like pictures from her Instagram page, I believe, this lady, and you can actually go through the Tumblr feed and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm not going to do that here on the channel because it's just, I think a lot of the images are just disturbing and sick. It says, how many girls were waiting for their return to the boat? Who owned the boat? What does a handler procure? Is the handler one of many connected to Epstein? Flight logs reveal many hidden artifacts. RC, in the metaphorical bold and brackets here, kill box metaphorical. And then it says Q. So RC is Rachel Chandler. One of many means there's more than one Rachel Chandler type people out there. They're handlers. What do handlers do? In this context, it's being suggested and insinuated that the handler is the one who procures underage women for these men to abuse. Now, that's just a theoretical statement that is based off of what we are seeing here and the evidence that we'll continue to see as we move forward. But these are questions that I would like to see answered. And this makes me sick. This really boils my blood. This makes me upset. But we're going to cover it because that's what we do here. We don't back away from subjects that others might not want to talk about, because we're here to spread good in the world, to bring light to where there's darkness, to uncover this kind of evil so that it can be stopped. I mean, that's what our whole goal is here. So anybody suggesting anything otherwise is obviously not a part of this movement. Q says, who is Rachel Chandler, responding to his one he just gave us. And if you guys will remember, this came up about a year ago. We started doing a dig on Rachel Chandler and her many connections to both Hollywood celebrities, political figures, and her connection to these very, very disturbing and strange artist blogs and these pictures of underage children in very suggestive ways. It's just disturbing. It's disgusting. To me, it's tantamount to somebody who enjoys, just the most disgusting and depraved things. And that's how these people live their lives. But anyway, connecting the dots. Let's try to just connect the dots here real quick. We have Bill Clinton being pictured here. Obviously, we have a picture with them together, Bill Clinton and Rachel Chandler. And the connection is just pretty circumstantial at the moment. There's not much there other than that they're all being pictured together, and then there's just this sick set of posts and pictures and people involved, and these supposed artists, which are basically manufacturing, in my opinion, really bad stuff. And man, I don't even know. Let's just go into the next one here. It says, who is Rachel Chandler? Accused responding to his own post saying, what high-profile elite people fund and provide Rachel with her photography studio? What is the studio used for? What is the studio really used for? Who has Rachel Chandler been pictured with? This goes far beyond spirit cooking models. Q. This just gets more and more disturbing. Next one here. An Anon posts this picture of Rachel Chandler and says, Chandler equals child handler. These people are sick. Q says, if the records become unsealed, much will be revealed. Watch the news for Rachel Chandler. Q. Now, this goes right back to what we were talking about with this case that was coming out. In the last video, in this video right here, one of these two, we actually talk about what Q points us to, where Q basically points us to these documents where certain individuals who were named in the court proceedings in which Jeffrey Epstein was found guilty for his underage sex abuses of children. You have unnamed individuals who have very, very powerful lawyers coming in and basically lobbying the court not to unseal the testimony and documents associated with the case involving Jeffrey Epstein. And as we said in the last video, because there could be, as I said here in the title, it's unsealing career-ending documents was what they referred to it as in the court papers, court documents that we looked through. And yeah, I think that's what we're digging into now further. So so we'll go to the next one. So here is Rachel Chandler with Eminem. They're just sitting there together, and she says in the picture here in the Instagram post that, I don't know if she's saying 16 or 17. I don't know if she's referring to her age at the time, but it says this one case has the ability to bring down the many rich and powerful people, those who scream the loudest. Q. That's why this whole thing is so disturbing. So here's Rachel Chandler with some famous artist, designer, I don't know. Here's Rachel Chandler with someone, I don't know who some of these people are, and just being quite honest. And Rachel Chandler with Eminem, obviously. Here's Rachel Chandler with Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, or Daddy Diddler, whatever his name is these days, I'm not sure. And here she says she was 14 years old. So I don't know. Or I think that's what she's saying. I'm 14 here. I don't know. That could mean something else. And then Q just points us to this post from an Anon. Okay. So these are interesting things. Let's go to the next one. So here's the next one. And obviously this is her with Bill Clinton. I mean, I'm just showing you the pictures. The ones that I can, at least. We looked at this one last year, and I did a whole video on this, and it is disturbing, the connections that can be made. Now the next one here is even more disturbing, where basically an Anon says Q says, Epstein Island dungeon beneath the temple, sex and torture rooms openly flaunt across social media, untouchable. Q. And this is why I had to pray before all of this. I'm disturbed. I'll continue to fight for these. If this is true, hypothetically, theoretically, we have to expose it. We have to, and I don't care what side of the aisle you are. I don't care if you're a hardcore liberal or hardcore conservative or somewhere in between. Nobody can look at this set of information and think to yourself, oh, well, that's just fine, or oh, that's not important, or whatever. I'm saddened. So in the next one here, an Anon actually points out that there was a zero delta between President Trump's latest tweet and Q's post. So obviously, and it says Q in before POTUS, meaning the Q post went up within the same minute, but before President Trump's tweet posted. Q says, thank you, Anon. Q. So this has always been a way that we're getting confirmations from the president and through his Twitter that, hey, it's kind of a wink and a nod to us that this is all part of the plan. And look, guys, I'm going to reiterate this for anyone watching this video is wondering and thinking, oh man, why would I even believe or trust what Q says? Well, because it's very likely that Q is military intelligence working with the Trump administration and others to go around the mainstream media who won't report on this kind of stuff. They won't even open the door to this because a lot of them, unfortunately, may be involved with this. And I could think of a few very, very famous anchors off the top of my head that I won't name, but I'll put it this way. Hollywood, the elite, the political elite, the Hollywood elite, and the media elites, they are most definitely aware of this at the minimum. And they won't talk about this story. And that puts it on us here on the boards to cover this and bring it to you. Now, the next one here is an Anon posting this picture about models to watch in 2017 from Rachel Chandler's modeling agency. Q says, where are they now? That's a good question. That would be a very good thing to follow up on. So, unfortunately, I had to skip over the next two posts, and we just went right ahead to these posts. If you guys go to the Q boards, you can see the posts for yourself. They're just disturbing photos that are all connected back to Rachel Chandler. Nothing that's criminal yet. Thankfully, I haven't seen anything that bad, but it is disturbing to say the least. And I won't show it here on this platform because I will not peddle that kind of smut and disgustingness. I'll talk about the story. I'll report on the story. I'll give you my commentary on the story, but I refuse to spread that. So anyway, the next one here is a picture of Prince Andrew with Virginia Roberts. Now, this is the woman who made accusations against both the prince and Alan Dershowitz of having intercourse with her when she was just a teen. Now, this is just an allegation. There's absolutely nothing to verify any of this other than her word at this point, as far as I've seen, is in looking at evidence. But who is Prince Andrew? Well, that's an interesting question. He's the Duke of York, the second son of the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Philip. At the time of his birth, he was second in line to the throne, but now he is seventh. So obviously, he fell out of favor with the royal family. And basically, the Anon says the royals are in there somewhere as well. Right? The next one says, an Anon pointing to Rachel with Peter Beard. Now, you guys don't know who Peter Beard is. He's a famous photographer, diary writer, photographer, lives in Africa, took pictures of the African plains, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we're being pointed in all these directions. So the next one is one of the more disturbing ones, I guess, and it's basically this Instagram post from Rachel Chandler where it's these different surveillance cameras, and people have alleged that this is the beneath the Epstein Island. This is security cameras from that, but I can't verify that. And it says Rachel Chandler had the possible Epstein Island security cam pic on her Instagram, which I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments, obviously. Here is her with some guy, probably a famous guy that I don't know. I'm sorry, just some of these people I just don't know. Just weird stuff they're pointing toward here in the comments. You look and you read through it, and there's just weird comments. Pretty sure I know this one. If you guys ever saw Full House, this is Rachel Chandler with one of the Olsen twins. I'm not sure which one. I'm gonna guess it's probably Mary Kate. I don't even know at this point. Anyway, here's the next one. It's Rachel Chandler with Matt Rothschild. Oh, so she's good friends with the Rothschilds. Great. So the next one here is what looks like Britney Spears with Rachel Chandler. Interesting. Oh, of course. Here's Richard Gere making an appearance on her Instagram. And then here's a picture of kids' shoes. And then at the bottom, there's another picture, but I'm not going to show it. And somebody was pointing out about these shoes. These are shoes of third world country children. And why is that important? Well, if you look at it, what they do is they don't buy brand new shoes for kids, usually in most third world countries, a lot of countries because they can't afford it, obviously, the poor people, obviously. And what they do is they buy shoes and then they'll just cut them up and they'll try to change the sizes as they go. Here's Prince Andrew again with someone. I don't know if that is Rachel Chandler, but they look like they're having a good time together. It says Prince Andrew is deeply connected. Q. Wow. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I've known this stuff for, it's probably been a year since we covered this last. But more is coming out. And now they're trying to unseal the documents from Jeffrey Epstein's case. So this is why I think it's being brought back to our attention. Next one, of course, Rachel Chandler here with who else but Paris Hilton, whose sister happened to marry a Rothschild, which we'll talk about in a second here. I know, this is getting worse. And then the next one here just points to a post that I can't really show. It's just of pictures of Rachel Chandler on a beach. It's not really, there's nothing that you're missing there. And but it's just saying to dig further. Now, the next one, there's even more disturbing images, and unfortunately, I can't share them with you, and I'm actually glad. I don't think that showing these kind of pictures is going to help anything, but we are exposing this still here. And like I said, if it's free world. If you guys want to go look at those pictures and do your own research, that's what this is all about. You're not just supposed to just take my word for it. So anyway, this one points to all these pictures. And the message from Q at the bottom basically just says, keep digging anons. Rachel Chandler is the key. Or actually is key, to quote Q correctly. And then the next one here, it says Ray Chandler equals Allison Mack times 100 Q. And you guys already know all the stuff that came out about Allison Mack. She is currently in plea negotiations over the sex slave cult charges, not to mention the fact that Q told us before that she was naming names and that she has been basically spilling the beans on everyone who was involved with the NXIVM sex cult. And yeah. So that's what Q wants us to look at. And then it points us to this. Now, I'm not going to go to this website because it's sick. I don't even mean like, we'll get to what needs to be done here at the end, but it's supposed artwork of little kids, and it's just disturbing, disgusting. It's I don't even know. I'm praying hard tonight because this is some disturbing stuff, obviously. Connection to Ray Chandler. Are you awake? Q. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, it's a free world. All this is publicly available. You can go over to justinformednews.com. There's a link and you can find all this stuff. But I won't be putting it on this channel. It says the Standard Hotel, Rachel Chandler, Q. And we've talked about the Standard Hotel, which is so weird. All their stuff's weird. Their advertising's weird. Even the symbol for their hotel is weird because everything's like upside down, and it's totally the as above, so below type, evil, devil, satanic occultism. And that's what this all basically ties back into. And when you see some of the stuff here, I don't even know where to begin. And of course, another picture here with Paris Hilton and Rachel Chandler, which she has like the weirdest, does she have like a lazy eye or like cross? What is that? Where one eye looks one way and the other eye looks the other way? I don't know what that is. Anyway, it says, who did Nikki Hilton's sister of Paris marry? James Rothschild. Q. Interesting. And finally, Q gives us some hope here, giving us a direct link. It's fbi.gov/tips. Again, that's fbi.gov/tips. And this is where you can report crimes. And after everything I've been going over here on the boards, I would be submitting a tip, but at this point, I know a lot of other anons and people have been submitting tips. So I know all this is being given to the FBI in real time. And look, I'm disturbed. I'm sickened, but it strengthens my resolve to continue to fight against this evil and to shine a light on it. And if you were a victim, if you were a survivor, I should say, of any of this kind of abuse, or if you know anything about what happened there, if you know anything about these people, or this occultism, or this, what happened on Epstein, anything, and you're watching this video, which is possible, it really is, please go to fbi.gov/tips and trust that the FBI has been cleaned up. Basically, the entire top staff has been fired and replaced, and President Trump is in control. So if you know anything about this, you were involved somehow, you're feeling repentance, you're feeling that God is calling you to expose this evil, you may have been brainwashed, you may have been forced, you may have been indoctrinated, whatever it is. But if you can, shine a light on this. If you know something, let the truth come out and trust in God, because God will, Even if you have done evil things, God has the capacity to forgive us if we're truly repentant and we make it our life's work to earn that forgiveness from God every day. And a good step in the right direction is, if you know anything about this, please call the authorities. Go to fbi.gov/tips and let them know what happened to you or what you know happened to someone else. That's the only way we're going to fight this evil and win. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for sticking with me through this episode. It was a difficult one, to be quite frank, but I'm glad we got through it, and I hope this just is the beginning of exposing it. Q wants us to remember to watch the news for Rachel Chandler. I might have skipped that post where Q basically says, it probably had pictures on it, but Q said to watch the news for Rachel Chandler. So this all could be coming out very much sooner than later. So I want to say thank you for watching this episode. A few ways you can help out the channel. If you want to stick around, you can hear about them. First, always hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Make sure you hit the like button, which is the thumbs up. That helps them know you like this content so that it gets recommended more, so that it gets out there more. And it also lets me know you want to see more of this. So definitely go do that. Watch these videos, share them on your social media, and leave your thoughts, theories, and insights down in the comments. Another great way you can help is to come find me on Patreon, patreon.com. It's a crowdfunding website. It's a monthly donation. You come here, click this button, become a patron. And once you do that, you just set your monthly donation, set it and forget it, and know you're helping create content. I couldn't do this without you guys, so I'm so thankful. And also, I have a GoFundMe set up if you want to make a one-time donation. You guys, pretty sure this video is not, most of my videos aren't monetized, so I need your help. So thank you guys for coming and donating, and thank you for doing that. Also, come find me over on twitter.com/justinformu. That's justinformu at Twitter, the official website or Twitter page for Just Informed Talk. And don't forget to come check out justinformednews.com, where, like I said, if you guys want to see all that, you would just come here and click QMAP, and you'll get all the posts. So that's for you. And you come check out all these different news websites, all the different breaking news articles, and you get all of the latest Q posts or videos, I should say, from the channel here. So that's a cool way you can help out. And before we go, as we do our segment at the end of each episode called God's Grace is Greater, where we talk about God's grace, now it is truly greater. And for today, since we read a little bit of scripture at the beginning, I'm going to keep it pretty short here. We're going to read out of the book of Malachi. It's chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "For indeed the day is coming, burning like a furnace, when all the arrogant and everyone who commits wickedness will become stubble. The coming day will consume them, says the Lord of hosts, not leaving them roots or branches." And I guess I'll just read the next one, but it says, I'll read the next verse too, because I think it goes right with this. It says, "But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in its wings, and you will go out and playfully jump like calves from the stall. You will trample the wicked, for they will be ashes under the soles of your feet on the day I am preparing, says the Lord of hosts." And that's what it is, guys. Remember, God wins. Evil doesn't. Satan doesn't. God wins. And I take solace in that. Although there is evil in this world, we will not stop until we uncover that evil and shine a light onto it and bring justice where justice is needed so desperately, and bring God back into the conversation every day in every way as we put our lives to Him in His grace and glory. So that's going to be it for me. I want to say thank you guys for watching this episode of Just Informed Talk. Remember, if you haven't already, now's a great time to do it. Come here, click the big red subscribe button. Also hit the like button at the bottom if you like the content. But that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching Just Informed Talk. My name is Craig. Godspeed and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.